Scholar.
I think very deeply.
Sinner.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Derrick Pierce. Welcome to the Scholar and Sinner Show. This is...
Greetings, Earthlings. I am Kip the Fantastic Magnificent. I doubled up on the adjectives today.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling yourself.
Yes, I am feeling, somebody got to feel me because it's lonely out there in them streets. So I might as well feel myself. Right?
I guess.
That works, right? Right?
This is your first time listening to the Scholar and Sinner Show. We basically talk about everything and anything and all those things in between. There are no holds barred. We have a tendency to curse a lot.
Well, no, we were told to kind of clean up our vocabulary. So Mr. Potty Mouth over here is going to watch his language.
If I don't say it audibly, does that mean I still cursed? I don't.
Yes.
I mean, does it?
Yes. Like, you know how when he was little, you would say fudge.
That would I have to start doing now?
Yeah, we got to say fudge.
I'm going to do my best because I don't want to upset our editor.
What are some of the cooler soft cuss words? Like, I'm talking about the ones that you used to get away with as a kid. What's a...
Shoot.
Oh, shoot. That's a classic. You can always throw it in a shoot.
Darn it.
Darn it. Darn it works. Darn it works really well.
Because you'd say darn it and your mama would go, what'd you say, boy?
Hey, you want to hear something? Black folks don't really say darn it. We say dang.
Yeah.
I said darn. It doesn't ring.
No, I said dang too.
Well, that's because you got some soul, but darn doesn't ring out as well.
But you could say darn it, and your mom would be like, what?
Yeah.
Darn it, mama, with a R and an N, not no M's in it.
Oh, yeah. Darn it.
So, okay, so I'm going to try to be a little more.
Yeah, man, watch your language, Mr. Potty Mouth.
Joe Rogan curses all the time.
He's cursing his butt off.
Off.
See,
This is a donkey. That's not cursing.
That's not? Okay. All right, whatever. Not profanity. That is not profane. I had this huge conversation / argument with this pastor over profanity in the Bible. Huge.
Because they curse in the Bible.
Yeah, right? He was trying to tell me there was no curse words in there. And I was like,
not know the Bible.
Bro, like, well, I mean, he didn't have the context. He didn't have the appropriate context. With the context, people are cursing in there.
Isn't that his job?
Yeah, it was his job. He was assistant pastor though, so I gave him some love. I didn't really like.
That's like saying the assistant manager can't cut it.
Exactly, he's assistant manager, so he wasn't really.
I'm the assistant pastor. Listen here, assistant manager.
Yeah, like he got the keys, but he got to go get the keys from somebody. He's the man next to the man. He's not really.
He doesn't have the managerial password.
Yeah, he don't. No.
He got to get that dude to come over.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? He would need somebody to approve.
So does that mean he can only absolve you of some low-level sins?
The pastor can't absolve you of anything. Let's just clear that up. Just straight out, he can't.
Can't
pastor
they do that in
I think the Catholic priest will forgive you. But
do they have an assistant priest?
Probably.
So maybe he can't clear you of adultery, but maybe he could clear you of like masturbation.
I've only seen it. Oh, because masturbation is low level.
Right.
And adultery, man. I was about to tell him to shut the front door.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's a question.
See, shut the front door.
Anybody who's Catholic, leave that comment down below.
I've only seen the confessional on movies. I've only seen it on movies.
What, confessional?
Yeah.
They have it?
Some dude sitting in a closet, and the guy was like, "Have you sinned, my son?" He was like, "Yeah, I just murdered 5 people." And he knows that the priest on the other side is over there like, "Shit, man, this dude killed 5 people," but he can't tell nobody.
So does that mean that they both come out of the closet when they're done?
I guess that I bet you a bunch of people came out the closet to the priest in the closet.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is that symbolic?
I bet you a bunch of people came out the closet to the priest in the closet.
Maybe they don't call it a closet.
I don't know what it's called. It's called a confessional booth, I think.
I
feel like I'm making stuff up at this point. Confessional booth. I don't know what it's called, man.
We're not here to talk about religion tonight.
I don't want to disrespect the Catholics. That's all good. It's the old Catholic thing. Catholic.
They drink.
they sip.
They drink because they're Irish.
They Irish Catholics? Oh wow.
A lot of Catholics are Irish.
That's true. But I mean, in certain places in the world, drinking is not necessarily as demonized. Like the Germans drink a whole lot of beer, right? So you can go to a Christian service in Germany, and they'll have a big stein of beer for you.
A stein.
Stein. You like that? You like that, right?
Stein.
A stein. Yeah. I spoke to your DNA when I said that, didn't I?
No, okay. I just thought you were. Stein sounded a lot like sty, like in your
Oh.
eye, like sty.
Bro. So you had a relatively exciting, not a relatively, extremely exciting weekend, didn't you?
I had a wonderful weekend.
What did you do, brother? What did you do?
Had some breakfast, worked out.
Some cornflakes? Did some push-ups?
No, I didn't
Had
have
a protein
cornflakes.
shake?
I didn't have cornflakes.
All that, I was about to say all that ish is just, see, I'm
You
trying.
can say ish.
All that ish is run of the mill. What did you do that's exciting?
That was exciting? I ran a light that was questionably red, but I think it was yellow.
That's living life on the wild side.
On the edge.
Yeah.
No. Saturday, me and my girl both redeemed our Christmas presents to each other. We chose to do things of adventure as opposed to actual gifts because we believe too many people basically break the bank trying to give somebody some sort of nice trinket.
So why not make some memories?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And that's relationship advice from Derrick Pierce. We need a nice romantic music.
I think you were the one. I think you and Jay started talking about it at the same time about making memories and stuff.
Yeah, man, the memories are more important than the trinket.
Yeah. So anyway, Saturday we went on a helicopter ride. A ride sounds so weird. Like we went to Magic Mountain or something.
What else? What did we call it?
A tour. We went on a helicopter tour.
Yeah.
And we had a pilot who I assume was cute. I couldn't tell because she had the hot mask on like this, but her eyes were pretty.
I thought you said the pilot was Swoop. What do you mean the pilot was cute?
You don't pay attention when I talk to you.
Bro, talk to me. I'll talk back.
I know you always talk back, and you say the most ridiculous word. For real? Wow, man.
So we have a brother named Swoop who was a pilot in the military.
He was actually a helicopter fighter pilot.
Yeah, which is badassery on level of billion.
Yeah, Swoop could fly.
That's a 50 cal on your ass.
As in donkey.
As in donkey. Your donkey's getting 50 cal'd up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your donkey is getting 50 cal'd up. So we did that on Saturday, which was mild. Jay's first time in a helicopter, not mine. It was great. I love it. I really want to learn how to fly.
So that was your side of the festivities.
Yes. And then Sunday, she took me skydiving.
No, I was really disappointed I wasn't invited. I'll just say, I am the happy third wheel.
You weren't invited. Okay. Jay was like, do you think we... No.
Because you know how that sentence ends. Do you think we should invite Kip?
Yeah. Kip is like our like, you know, I know
Happy
Kip's probably at home by himself.
They love me. They love me over there at the Pierce household.
I wasn't trying to bring you on our helicopter ride at twilight.
I was, man. I didn't want to be sitting there in those close quarters when you got that light bulb over your head to start shooting OnlyFans content. I didn't want to be nowhere near that. So I was like,
it crossed my mind.
No.
I just told you to hold the camera.
Hold the camera, huh? Yeah. I'm like,
Sunday we went skydiving.
Yes. So you jumped out of a perfectly good plane.
Perfectly good airplane. The funny thing about the skydiving is I actually have a very real fear of heights. Like if you stood on the top of this building, which is only a few stories, and looked over the edge, I wouldn't feel real good about that.
Right.
I'm not that dude. I don't want to try parkour off the edge of some building and do some pull-ups on some outcropping. I'm not that dude. I'm not about it. I don't want to do it. It's negative. It gives me a little light feeling right now just talking about it, right? Because you get the visual.
So how high was the plane, though, Mr.
14,500.
Yeah, that's a skyscraper, isn't it? Like, hold on a second.
Skyscraper? What, 14,000?
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on, man. Hold on a second. Because a skyscraper would be like base jumping. So this is a lot taller than that. So I apologize. My bad, man.
Take your time, Mr. Educated.
Yeah, hold on, man. I teach English. The Queen's English.
Anyway, so we went skydiving, and you know I've always talked about doing it. I've bungee jumped before, and I liken bungee jumping more to like a drag strip, where you get into a ridiculously fast and aggressive vehicle that doesn't feel very safe, and you mash the throttle down as hard as you can and just kind of hold on and pray you don't hit the wall, or that your chutes at the end open, all that kind of stuff. And when it's over, you get that rush of like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. That was like 180 miles an hour type thing. And this was nothing like that. So there was not the level of fear that was involved. It was different. It was an exhilaration. And so, you know, as you're taking off, you're facing the rear, the tail of the plane, which is an interesting way to take off in a plane. I've never actually watched the ground leave before. That was interesting.
So let me ask you this question then. So what you are connecting is the idea of exhilaration and bliss, for lack of a better term, with the sensation of I might be dying, right? Like you are literally at that thin line between, I am here today in the past tense. Man, D was cool. Like
I didn't know what to expect because I've never done it before. And I bungee jumped and I figured it was kind of something like that. It's nothing. It's nothing like that. The weird part is as you're going up, you're starting to take things in. You're starting to realize like, I'm going to jump out this plane, and it's not the, oh shit. Sorry, I cursed. Oh, darn it. It's not,
we're gonna see how long this the I can't say that.
Censorship?
Yeah, the censorship stuff works.
Hooked on phonics.
Yeah, man. Look, man, I'm on vacation, bro.
So
I got a government job.
As you're going up and you're starting to take all these things in, and on the ground you're really like, I don't know if I really want to do this. I'm fearful of it. It's basically it's a huge fear thing, and you're like everybody says, I'm not trying to jump out of a perfectly good plane, and I get it. It makes sense. And halfway up, they use that roll up door, and they're like, just look at what you're about to be jumping out.
So let me ask you a question. What was the first thought in your mind when the door opened and you felt that air on your face? It
felt really good.
What?
It felt good. I was like, the air is so crisp and so clean. When I was talking with Jacob, the jump master, the
jump master?
I guess
that's a great name.
I called him a jump master because he's been doing it for like 15 years.
Okay, it works.
It was the slender dude that was strapped to my back.
Oh, so you were sitting on the dude's lap. Tell the truth.
I wasn't sitting on his lap. We were just cuddled up for the duration of the flight.
You were sitting in between a grown man's legs.
Yeah.
Which means you were...
First off, it ain't the first time I've been sat between a grown man's legs. I've grappled many times before, so... And that's a lot closer.
That is pretty intimate. Grappling is pretty intimate.
You could feel the hot breath in your ear type close.
Grappling is man wrestling.
It's very personal.
Real manly.
Yeah.
What was that?
North-south.
Yeah.
North-south position.
Get a little dark stroke happening. But so, I'm talking to him and you're noticing that there's some cloud cover and I'm like, wow, we get to jump through the clouds. And, he's like, well, we kind of not supposed to. And I'm like, why not? Is it dangerous? And he goes, well, there's some of the planes coming through there. And I'm like, oh that's scary. And then I thought about it and I'm like, but what do you do if a plane's coming at you anyway? Like, it's not like you can be like, stop.
Skydiving into a moving plane sounds like cartoon death.
Right.
That sounds like a death that would happen in the cartoon.
So Jay went out first.
It's like getting hit in the head with a piano just walking down the street.
So Jay went out first.
Fucking anvil or something.
You want to say something else?
Yeah, I'll keep going.
I'm going to tell Jay that you were talking
over
her part.
Okay, go ahead. Jay went first, and she had already done that. So for her, it was not that big of a deal, but she said this jump was way better than the other one. But the thing that I noticed is the moment that you jump and you're standing out on the wing of a plane is basically what you're doing, right? And you're realizing I am at 14,000 plus feet on the wing of a plane, and I'm not really tripping because the one thing, and I got this from Will Smith when he talked about this, is on the other side of fear is everything. If you can just get past the fear, right, you realize how much you can accomplish and the level of blissfulness when you are literally flying on the way down. It is an amazing feeling. Yeah.
It's not contempt. It's not anxiety. It's freedom.
Yeah, what you're talking about is like a controlled chaos situation.
To a degree, yeah.
Yeah, because when we're talking about fear, you have a physical activity that is, you can't deny it. There's nothing else that you can focus on except for the moment, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, in many ways, other types of fears don't really work that way. Like, we do have those fears about, like, I am terrified of heights. Little me in kindergartens on the Empire State Building vomiting all over the place. Like, that literally happened. You know what I mean? Twin Towers, I vomited all over the place. Like, I didn't I didn't know. But the point that I'm trying to make here is when we're talking about fear, I think the mechanism that gets you beyond fear and gets you to that blissful state is the same, even though the physical articulation of the fear may be different. We're not talking about necessarily a fear of heights or necessarily, we're talking about a fear of success or a fear of failure.
It's just fear.
It's just fear in itself. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, actually in connection to what we were speaking about fear, is the idea of living your life on your own terms, right? And I think that when you achieve certain goals, and then you get on the other side of those goals, and then you start realizing that those goals may not have edified you, may not have made you better, may not have made you feel so complete or full. Then you kind of create new goals, and then you start realizing that you may be running out of time, right? You spent all this time in life doing these things to make, because they were supposed to. This is what you were supposed to do, right? But now it's like, whoa, how much more time do I have?
Well, so at this age and stage of the game, I do think like that, actually. It's kind of funny you bring that up because I do think that, like, well, how much longer can I do A, B, and C, right?
Right.
And also over the last year, where everybody's been in the year of the pandemic, I think a lot of things have become very, very obvious, right? You see the people who are willing to jump and move and flow with the times, and there's other people who are just staunchly steadfast in where they were and waiting for things to come back, aka the good old days.
Right.
It's not an implication into, mask, no mask, or virus, no virus. It's just when things change, what do you do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is going to sound painfully obvious, but you can't hold on to the past and move forward at the same time.
No,
now you can use the past to make informed decisions about the future, but you should be in a state of reinvention. But then that reinvention, that process is literally what brings people back to fear, because in order to do that, you got to get outside of your comfort level, right? Out of your comfort zone.
I noticed, for me anyway, about every, 10 years, 11 years, something like that. It seems like there's almost like a new chapter that starts. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's a time and place in my life where I was in this chapter, and then about 10 years time, then I moved to another chapter, and about another 10 years, I moved to another chapter, which kind of goes in line with people like Colonel Sanders. I know you do not see the correlation at all, but I'm gonna bring it full circle.
That is wildly left field. Colonel Sanders?
Yeah, because
11 herbs and spices.
Yes,
Colonel Sanders?
because he started started Kentucky Fried Chicken after he was retired, after 60. And that's a big stepping stone. How do you stay motivated? So there were many chapters in his life, and then rather than just hang it up, right, and let the chickens rest. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Dude was like, you know what? I think I'm going to open Kentucky Fried Chicken. And it was epic. I mean, he didn't make it until that time. So I wonder how many chapters he went through. And if he had ever cut it short, he never would have made it to there.
Well, I think that you go through this, like your life is kind of like the stages of cement drying, right? Like you put the cement down and it has to be put into a form first, right? So once it's in its form, it has to sit in that form until it's dry. And then it's going to dry over time. And then once it's dry, then you kind of have to test it to see if it's ready or not. Or if you're a professional, when it's dry. But once the cement is dry, then you can start building on that foundation. What happens is that when they pour it out, right? Like you're a child. That first 10 years of your life don't really count, because who you are is basically given to you. Like from 0 to 10, you're a child. You're being fed, right? And then the second 10 years, you're just a big-ass kid. Like life doesn't really start in your adulthood for, like, in my personal opinion, for like men. Like I didn't really get a hang of this whole grown-ass thing until about like 33.
Yeah,
like
I may have taken longer.
I'm talking about like paying bills and being responsible, whatever the that means, and given our
monetized.
Oh man, that got it.
See, you were first.
Whatever the freak that means, being in our day and time, our age groups are getting younger. I had this conversation with my mom, and I said, "Hey, my 40 years old is younger than your 40 years old. You're 40 years old, right?" And then she said, "Well, my 40 years old was younger than my mom's 40 years old." And I was like, "Oh snap! I never really considered that." So what ends up happening is that I think that especially men are taking longer to mature. We're taking longer to step into whatever that quote unquote manhood thing is.
I don't know so much of a maturity thing. I think it's just everybody's taking more time to develop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Over a longer period of time. So, when you have to have everything decided by the time you're 20, married, kids, career, stuff like that, people aren't really doing that in the same capacity, aka earlier generations.
But there's got to be a point in time where you just go. You can't constantly be getting ready to get ready. There's got to be a time where you just go forward. Because
but so if you listen to somebody like Gary Vee, Vaynerchuk, for those who I don't know, apparently don't ever open their eyes and listen to anything, because he's world popular now.
Okay.
Right?
Gary V.
You
What
don't know
up,
Gary V is?
Nah, bro.
Whoa.
You're probably gonna send me a link to a bunch of Gary V.
He's not like the super motivational guy. He's very practical.
Whoa. Is that the little guy with the foul mouth?
He wants to own the Jets.
But he keeps it 100%
Yes.
real, right?
Yes.
That dude,
Yes.
like, I love the way that guy speaks. By the way,
Yeah,
I know what he's talking about.
His whole theory, which I actually subscribe to, and I get it, is you take the risks when you're very, very young, right? You throw caution to the wind. You go to a single apartment and you eat top ramen and noodles and stuff like that, aka really, really cheap stuff when you're young, because that's the time you grind it out. That's the time you learn. The time you're supposed to go for it is not after you've done 4 years of college and then 4 years of specialty college and then trade and then all these things, right? And then you go for it. You need to go for it when you have much less to lose.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. But I think that going for it redefines itself as you are on this continuum.
Sure, of course. It's different for each person.
Yeah, not even different for these persons. It's different at each stage of life. Like the energy that you put into like laying your foundation is going to be about the same, if not more, or if not less than what you do into maintaining it, right? Like, we talk about education all the time, and I've been in the educational field. It feels like my entire life because I was a little boy coloring in the back room of my mother's classroom. My mother was a teacher. The point that I'm trying to say here is that in hindsight, I start feeling like education, formalized education in our country, is complete BS. Complete BS. And I was listening to Dame Dash, right? And he was talking about like if you were a goldsmith, you're not going to take your child and send your child to go learn how to do something.
Right, if you're already doing it.
That child is going to learn how to be a goldsmith because as soon as you take your child and you send that child to go be educated by someone else, that child can only be a servant of those individuals that educated them. Right. And I started thinking about this and bringing it back to what you were talking about is the idea of being empowered, an idea to kind of confront the fears and the apprehension means that you cannot always be getting ready to get ready. At one point in your life,
you're gonna have to
you gotta jump. You can't stand on that cliff and expect to fly. If you're gonna fly, you gotta freaking jump. And I said freaking jump. I didn't say the other word. Okay, so, that's syllable. See, that wasn't even the cuss word. Yeah, see, exactly. I didn't curse. I gave it to you in syllables. See that?
To
I'm gonna say all my curse words in syllables from now on.
Is that what you're gonna do? To amplify your answer about jumping, Steve Harvey talks about it a lot.
Steve Harvey.
I do like what he says, a lot of things. And what he do you have a problem with Steve Harvey?
No, man. You know what?
What was the side for?
I was shitting on Steve Harvey for the longest time.
Why?
Right? But I realized that one thing that Steve Harvey does is he brings a certain amount of wisdom, just his life experience and wisdom. And when he speaks, it's almost like everybody's uncle. Yeah. And it took me a while to kind of appreciate that.
Yeah,
right. It took me a little while to appreciate the fact that this guy is like got a summation of life experiences and life observations, and he's sharing them. And I guess my knee-jerk reaction to Steve Harvey at first was, who the is this guy? I'm gonna keep doing that.
It's really annoying if you want the honest.
Yeah. Who is this guy to be talking all this stuff, right? And then I was like, man, calm down. He knows he's been alive.
The people that have been through it.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's a comedic legend. He's listen. Anyway, everybody knows who Steve Harvey is.
Best-selling author.
And what he talks about in regards to jumping is you don't need to worry about the chute opening right away. That's not the goal. The goal is to jump. And if you don't jump, you don't have to worry if the chute is going to open or not. It's not even a thing. If you never jump, it doesn't matter if the chute opens or not.
I mean, I also heard Steve Harvey say don't have a plan B. Because if you have a plan B, then plan A, you actually have an out, right? But if you only have plan A and you're only working on plan A, then you will kind of grade your success by the journey and not the actual finish line, right? Because if you have steps, okay, I need this, I'm trying to get to the finish line, but I got past the first 10 yards. Okay, cool. Well, I have to do this and I have to do that. Like I have a bunch of friends that are actors.
Right.
And their big thing is yes to plan A because they don't want to do anything else.
Well, I think if you take it a step further, right, the one thing that I've also learned is that I found very, very interesting is a lot of us focus on the results.
Yes.
Right? It's about the results. It's about getting the A in class. It's about getting the career or job that you want. It's about making X number of dollars. And we have a tendency to forget about the process.
So
and falling in love with the process is more important
Right.
than the outcome.
So I think that's a lot. That statement actually sounds like the other D that the people really don't know, the personal trainer D. Like when you have a client and I just want to lose these 30 pounds. I just want to lose these 30 pounds, right? And they go hard in the gym, like super hard. In the first 2 weeks, they might lose 10 pounds, right? But then the next week, they put on a pound. And then they go freaking ape poop. Because they put on a pound,
God,
right?
That's terrible.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. But the point is that pound they put on was muscle. They actually look better that they're a little bit heavier, right? Like if you're only focused on the finish line, then you're gonna lose the beauty of the actual.
Well, and it's gonna be harder to
race
repeat
itself.
the process.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You need to fall in love with the process.
Right.
Interesting thing about the process is, so I recently binge watched a show on Netflix called
Strong.
which if you haven't watched it, it actually is produced by.
Is that the Rock show?
No.
Okay.
It's produced by what's his name? Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, Sly Stone.
Yeah, it was by Stallone. And the beauty of this show.
Sly Stone was a funk musician, by the way.
My God, dude, you need to take your meds before you come to this show from now on.
You love me.
Your ADD is kicking
I said the wrong
today.
thing. I said the wrong thing. I had to correct myself.
You've been cutting me off the whole show.
All right, man. My bad.
Jeez. The whole thing about this show, Strong, I can just turn the camera, is that it actually seems to exemplify the process and not the outcome. And they stop focusing on the things that most people focus on, which is because you made the comment about weight. They stop focusing on how much weight these women are losing at this time, right? It's not The Biggest Loser where everybody's obese and things of this nature. These are real women who are kicking ass and taking names and are trying to change their life through the process, not just getting to a numbered goal, right? And I mean, listen, at the end of every episode, I was misty-eyed, like, shut up, I'm not crying, you're crying. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it must be the onions, you know what I mean? But it was because you watch these people struggle and you watch them confront the things that have held them back, where they don't feel that they're important enough, where they were put down, and it addresses so many of these things. So it's wonderfully produced.
One of the interesting points, one of the salient points that you can pull from a show like Strong, which I haven't seen, but I'm imagining because we had a conversation about this, is that it also proves how people need each other. It also shows how we need each other, because like the support of one another is also inspirational to maybe help that person push past whatever resistance level they have that's keeping them from getting to their goal. And it also helps them make realistic expectations, right? Like sometimes you have to ask yourself, are your expectations, or did you create them based on something that you consumed through media or through your friends, or for some pressure, or something that your parents did to you when you were little? Like, are these realistic expectations? Because once you own your expectations, right, and then you have someone that's going to help you refine these things, then that type of synergy will help you on the journey to wherever you're going.
The one interesting thing that I found out about this show is so, you know, in most of the things that are happening in the world, right? Everything is competition based, aka I win, so you suck.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody likes me. That means they hate you.
Right.
You know, and it's very adversarial. And I'm. It was really interesting to watch this show. I won't give up too much of it. I'll kind of like cut it here. But the lack of adversarial activity. They're like, well, we're going to compete against each other because we have to. But I got mad love for you, and if I have to lose, then I want to lose to somebody of your passion. Right. And I'm proud, as upset as I am to lose, I'm also very proud of you.
You know,
for
a lot
winning.
of fighters take that perspective.
Some.
And some. And I think that was one of the things that I appreciated about track and field, because once upon a time I ran track. And when you're running, you're not really competing against the person in the lane right next to you. You're competing against the clock. Right. So you could come in third when you're used to coming in first, but if you ran the best time that you've ever run in your life, there is still a lot to be proud of, right? Like the competition is with yourself, not necessarily with those that are around you.
The thing for me for 2021 and living differently is no longer working towards adversarial conversations with other people. You know what I mean? It's really working in conjunction and synergy with people to get to a better place so everybody can thrive.
That's an interesting point, because, you know, we talked about this before about having individuals in your life, right? And I said that I literally don't want any time. I don't want to share any space with someone that is not trying to fix the broken parts of themselves.
Yeah.
If you have a bunch of demons on a leash and you just carrying, I gotta watch my mouth. I hear the curse word coming. You know, like I feel it riling up in my spirit. But if you have like these things that you've been carrying around and you're not making any attempt to kind of repair these things, then what's going to end up happening invariably is that now I'm going to be required to carry some of that weight for you. Like straight up and down in moving forward, that's also an aspect of what you're talking about getting older, by realizing that I don't necessarily have time. Right? I can appreciate you going forward, and I will root you on and say, you know, let's go get it, and I'll help you, but I'm not trying to fix you for you.
No.
It's really good to set expectations, but if we're going to be reflective about 2020 versus 2021, the question I have for you are, what are some of the things that you are just exhausted about? From the listen, this year, 2021 was an easy year to be exhausted about things because it felt like 2020 was an easy year to be exhausted about things. But the flip side to being exhausted is to feel reinvigorated and have a sense of hope. So the question is, what are some things that you're totally tired of from 2020, but some things that you're really hopeful for in 2021?
Well, I think everybody's exhausted from 2020. I mean, how many memes you see about running away from 2020 like no tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I think this year the annual reset, it wasn't the same for me.
No.
And it wasn't the same because we still have the same problems. I still see the same political issues. I still see the same economic issues. I still see the same health issues.
The virus isn't going anywhere.
No. What I noticed for me anyway that has changed is the circle, right? Circle, like a circle.
Circle.
Like a circle.
What's with the racist? Never mind.
First off, it's from a movie.
Really? What movie is that?
It's from the Adam Sandler and what's the other dude?
Just say something until it comes to you, Dee.
Who's the big guy? The other comedian, they played the fireman. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
See. Well, back to your circle, bro.
They were supposed to be fake married.
Adam Sandler and Paul Blart, the
mall cop. Mall cop.
Anyway, the preacher happened to be Asian. They were in Canada, and he kept talking about the rain like a circle.
Like a circle. Okay.
Anyway, that's a really long-winded joke.
Yeah, sorry. I took the sales out of the window.
The circle of people that I'm around
have gotten smaller.
It's gotten much smaller, both because apparently in some cities and states and countries you'll go to jail if you widen your circle.
Yeah.
Because they'll drag you out the house like they did that dude in Canada.
Did they drag somebody out the house in Canada?
They did.
Word.
But also because I just realized that I don't have the time that I had to entertain, like what you were talking about, additional people.
Right.
Like I need to function with people that are moving in the same direction or a similar direction that I am, even if they're not doing exactly what I'm doing. Right. They still have the same ideology and thought process, like us doing this show. For all intents and purposes, I mean, this show ain't free.
This show ain't free. No, we pay for this shit.
We put money into this, and then our producer is also investing in us. So even though we're not directly doing business, we're helping each other on some level, move forward. Right. And that's what I noticed, especially for me, moving to 2020 to 21. It's 2020. I seem to have a lot of extra time for a lot of extra things.
Right.
And 2021 seems to be a little tighter. Like, okay, so here's the vision, and I can see that. My other team that's running alongside us has a different vision than we do, but it's still moving, right? And so it seems that now we're functioning in this capacity where sometimes we can interact and cross paths with each other.
Right. I think the people that are going to be the most successful are the ones that are going to be able to show how they responded to be uncomfortable in 2020. And 2021 should be the demonstration of how you respond to being uncomfortable, because we all spent 12 months, it was more like 10 months, but we all spent a considerable amount of time. And to be honest with you, the discomfort is somewhat waning, specifically and only because there's hope. But
Well, yeah.
like boots on the ground, rubber meets the road. Nothing has really changed between December and
But
January. We're just hoping that things
bad
will
and
change.
destitute as certain areas are,
Right.
there's tons and tons and tons of opportunity. Whether it's opportunity to further yourself physically or financially
Yeah.
or karmically, there's tons of opportunity.
I
and we need to capitalize.
No, I agree with you, but I also believe that the winning comes at different, or success comes at different levels for different people, and the top tier is not for everybody. There's not space for everyone at the number one podium.
Right.
It's just listen, man. Like if we were all gazelles on the savannah, don't fact check me if there's a savannah and gazelles, okay? Look, and that lion comes up, he's going to eat something. That lion is going to catch someone. It's not going to catch the fastest. It's not going to catch the strongest. It's not going to catch the smartest. It's going to catch the one that was most comfortable.
Right.
That gazelle that was kicking it like, man, what y'all running for? I'm cool over here. It's nice. Look at my grass. All this is cool. He's the one that's going to get eaten. So the point is that 2021 should be your year where you demonstrate how you've responded to being uncomfortable. Because I was listening to, I can't remember this guy's name. It's an Instagram feed, and he was talking about the power of the mind, right?
Right.
And I remember being hurt. I broke mad bones playing football, right? And I remember being hurt and sitting on the sideline. The coach used to be, get those mental reps in. At first, it kind of sounded funny because I was hurt and I was like, I still got to go to practice, right? He was like, yeah, you got to come to practice to get the mental reps in. And I thought about mental repetition.
Right, because it's still exercise.
Yeah, mental repetition over and over and over again. And I thought about some of these things that I've read about the laws of attraction and how your mind is like incredibly powerful, and how when you meditate on something and you think about it,
right,
you're not caught off guard by the emotional impact of something that was unexpected, because you've already kind of been there.
You've
before.
gone over it multiple times in your head.
You've practiced it in your head. Like this, it's one of the reasons why when you have these fighters and they get into a real troublesome state and they don't freak out,
right?
Because they've practiced it in their head. They've been through that fire before. So, I mean, I think that if we're talking about going forward, right? If we're talking about going forward, not only is confronting fear going to be important, having individuals around you that can at minimum support you in whatever it is that you're doing is going to be important. Anybody that's pulling away should not be there. And that's what 2020 should have done, right?
Yeah, but 2020 was a year where I feel that a lot of people had to open their eyes. You either went one of two ways, right? Mm-hmm. You either become a recluse and stay by yourself.
I was close. It was you pulled me out of my little hobbit hole.
Or you figure out another way to lead a life that still qualifies as something tangible, right? Because if you just keep waiting around, like, no, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
I'm getting ready to get ready. Like, the worst part about getting ready to get ready is that you'll never make any mistakes. And if you don't make any mistakes, you'll never make any corrections. And the victory comes in the correction. Like, you have to make mistakes. Now, we're not talking about catastrophic mistakes that are going to, ruin the whole entire journey. But, man, you got to be able to evaluate something. Like, leave in the comments, what are you evaluating? Like, do you have something that you're personally, I'm going to read these comments next week. I'm going to read your comments, right? What are you personally evaluating for the purpose of, like, getting better? Because, if we're all getting better in 2020, then maybe in 2021, maybe that, the media that we see won't be so shallow or won't be so hurtful or won't be so, degrading or make us feel like we're so apart from one another.
I noticed that in 2020 versus coming into 21, it also seemed to spike a lot of people's ingenuity.
Yeah.
Right? Because you had to redesign and reinvent so many aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Me with my gym, you with teaching. We all had like a new cross to bear and be like, damn, how are we going to make money now? Like, if we didn't work for
cross to bear is a Jesus reference.
I know. Jesus was real. It's done my lawn many times.
Okay. Go ahead. Cross the bear.
But not with the cross.
No, he didn't have cross the bear.
Because you can't do the lawn with the cross
at
the same time.
Yeah, I mean, he's Jesus. He can walk on water. He probably can do that too, though.
He might, but how
water,
is he?
Wine, all of that.
Like
it's Jesus. He can do whatever he wants. Go ahead, man. Continue.
Anyway, so people had to think outside the box.
True.
And get creative. Who would have thought that some of the things that are happening now would be the thing? Zoom.
Right.
Like,
Yo,
how did Skype not destroy Zoom?
That's a wonderful question, but Skype wasn't really designed. You know what? Skype was around, but it wasn't really designed I think it was how Zoom was presented, and I'm mad that I didn't buy Zoom stock.
No, Zoom was accidental.
Jesus.
Don't get it twisted.
I'm mad that I didn't buy Zoom stock, bro.
How come?
Like, I
How
missed
come
both.
Google Hangout didn't become the thing?
Good question. Good question.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying
Question.
thinking outside the box.
The marketing for Zoom, and how it was like, it's so easy, and everybody's doing it. It was like we all jumped in that Zoom pool.
How'd that go again?
It's so easy, and everybody's doing it. We jumped in that. You like that, huh? It's smooth, huh? You like that?
Weirdo.
But all right. So one of the beautiful things that you actually hinted at earlier is that there's been kind of an agreed upon. I don't really mess with you anymore.
Right.
But we're not going to really talk about it. We're just going to go our separate ways. I don't have to go out of my way to be like, look, you know, I don't really mess with you anymore. COVID has done that. Like, what the pandemic has done is allowed some distance between the extras.
Well, most people aren't coming out anymore.
But I'm saying you ain't got to go out of your way for the people that, you know.
Yeah, be like, I really want to see you, but COVID.
No, because then you realize your mama is more important than this extra.
Well, it's a whole other thing, but I agree with you. It definitely let at least myself reevaluate.
Thin the herd, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm all the way cool with that because I was like, man, how am I going to get this person from around me? Thank you, pandemic.
Who are you trying to get rid of?
There's a couple people that I just, want to give
who
them some space. You want me to name some names
Yeah,
here
why
on
not?
the internet so
Let
it'll
'em
live
know.
forever?
Let them know.
Didn't I tell you I'm not snitching on myself? Why you always trying to get me to tell on myself? You always try to get me. Look, man, you ain't seen the movies when the black dude is sitting in there like you saw Men in Society. You know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up, right?
During the interrogation?
Yeah, bro. That's not me.
It's not just me. To be honest with you, Josh be trying to get you telling yourself all the time, too.
Not gonna happen. Never, ever. Ever.
Not today, Satan.
Not today, Satan. That would be a pretty dope t-shirt. Not today, Satan.
I told you I'm going to get the other ones made.
The line stepper t-shirt.
Habitual line stepper.
Yep, use a habitual
But I got to figure out what
line stepper.
the
Charlie Murphy, boy.
what the print is. You know what I mean? Like whatever the caricature. Is it a foot over the line?
Yeah, that would work.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, a foot over the line, and under the line it says
what if it's like a little
line
Jordan
stepper.
and
A
it's
Jordan,
right over the
5,
line?
That's a 1 that's going right over the line. And habitual line. I would wear that.
Yeah.
You know what? The Scholar in the Center merch is coming real soon.
Yeah, no, it's gonna have all the sayings.
Stop calling these bitches hoes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting for him to not be so black.
What? When was that ever a thing?
Just right now. Like right now, it literally just happened.
No. What happened is that you just stepped your happy ass over the line again. That's what you do.
Hence the hoodie,
Yeah.
habitual line stepper
Come on, man. It's all right.
with the Jordan on it. Jordan will not be trademarked or licensed on our apparel, so it's going to be bootleg,
With a bootleg Jordan on it.
which makes sense. I mean, for me, it makes sense anyway. I do that a lot.
You do what a lot?
Get my stuff made when I can't buy it. Like
Oh,
if something's out of stock.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what happens is if you're, a creative person, then your creative instinct is more important than just kind of stepping in line with what everybody else is doing.
No, that's not it for me.
Nah, you crazy. You
I was like, yo, I try to give you some money. You don't have stock. I'm going to go pirate your stuff instead.
Word?
Sorry. I tried.
Word.
If
Oh.
I go to order your stuff and you don't have my size, I'm moving, homie.
I don't
Keep up. Step up or step off.
I don't even think about it like that. If I look for something and I can't find it and I have my own idea, I'm gonna make my own idea. That's what I do.
If I want to make a change, I'll make a change. But outside of that, no. It's just like, what did you do? You don't have that size? Cool. I'm going to text my girl, Christy, real quick.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, because there's a couple things that I want that they don't have my size.
Yeah, Christy will make all that stuff.
Word?
What
up,
What is it, KB? What is it, KB what? KB Creates.
On Instagram?
Yeah. At KB
She
Creates.
won't do any name brand stuff at all.
Yeah, no, I don't want knockoff Nike.
No. She's not doing like Louis Vuitton all
man,
over
that shit
thing.
I saw this chick on Instagram with LVs tattooed all up and down her arm, and I was like, yo, that is
You're a
wild
dumbass.
ghetto.
As in dumb donkey.
Yo, you think that? That's just wild. That's
just
silly.
stupid.
Yeah, bro.
But I think anybody's dumb that tattoos a Nike swoosh on them too.
Yeah, I would.
Or like maybe like an angel's tattoo. Like if you had it across your whole back. or something like that.
The Anaheim Angels?
Yeah,
they're
like-
not even in Los Angeles, right?
Right.
You
Well, I'm
mean
just
the-
saying, if you tattooed the Angels
The
across
A with
your
a halo
whole
on top
back,
of it.
for instance.
Do you know somebody with that tattoo?
I'm not saying I know anybody like
Josh,
that.
do you know somebody with that tattoo?
I mean, I'm sure somebody's been ridiculous enough to do that.
Interesting.
Like, what would you think if you saw somebody who was like at the beach and then they had like an Angels tattoo that's got to be at least 2 feet high?
But what if this person really loved baseball?
I get that.
What if they were like in their heart of hearts, they were like a dedicated Angels fan? Shouldn't they be able to get the tattoo of the Angels?
Oh, he can get whatever he wants. I'm just saying, I think you look ridiculous.
Hey, man.
You know, I used to like the Rue shoes that I wore when I was 8 years old. They had the pockets on the side
The
of
rules
them,
are kind of fresh, though.
but I would never get it tattooed on me.
No, I kind of get that. People have the Raider symbol tattooed on them all
I
the time.
don't
right?
think that's.
I've seen people with fly, ridiculous portraits of Kobe Bryant.
I think it's ridiculous.
Word.
As a general notion, I think it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
what about a tattoo of Bruce Lee? You admire Bruce Lee.
But I would not get him tattooed on me.
I mean, well, I don't know. That's interesting.
I have to be
That's
vested
interesting.
in whatever the artistic value of it is.
Yeah, I guess I could keep throwing out human beings, but if the artistic value was at the highest quality possible, wouldn't
Then I could just appreciate it for the art.
okay? Because I think a Muhammad Ali
Unless
tattoo
unless
is kinda
you're
dope.
unless you're doing the Angels, then you just look dumb.
Then you look dumb. What are you looking at?
I'm sorry, man. I was looking for my notes.
And you try to call me.
I was looking for my notes.
Yeah, right. You looking for your notes. That was some cheekage on their phone, right?
Those
You
are
get
part of my notes.
You get random. Never mind.
Like your random what?
Like random, just like posterior pictures.
People who follow me are generous with their photos.
That's awesome. Then people who follow me are generous with their photos. Like, is that a porn star perk?
me. Huh?
That's a porn star perk, isn't it?
Probably.
So speaking of porn star-ish, you know what time it is?
You just have to go porn star. Like, what the
man,
hell's
I'm
wrong
just
with
saying.
your
It's
pronunciation?
Porn star, because you're a porno star.
Wow. Are you gonna grow out a porno stash to go with that porno reference from the
I need
70s?
a bound chicka wow wow and a porno stash. That would be dope. Can you imagine if I could just make it grow just like right here in front of everybody's faces? That would be
Because
fly.
then we call you Shaft.
Hey, Shaft would be a great porn name, no, bro.
Oh, you think you're the first intelligent person to come up with that ridiculousness?
Boo. So, speaking of your career, right?
Ridiculousness?
The question is, what was your greatest fear or apprehension when you first started in the business?
It's easy.
Okay, what's
Not
that?
being able to perform. Like, you get there and they'll be like, "Oh, it's Mr. Wiggly."
Oh, damn, God, that hurt my ego. Call my boy Mr. Wiggly? Mr. Wiggly.
There was a
Hey,
camera.
wait. Why was there an oi in there? Oi? It's Mr. Wiggly?
Just, I was about to explain it,
Okay,
but
please.
you decided to not shut the fruck up
I'm shutting the fruck up right now.
because you've been habitually verbally overstepping the whole time.
I will be
We're gonna
quiet
get you a
as-
shirt that says "I don't know when to be quiet."
I'm going to just be quiet. I'm just going to be quiet. Go ahead, do your thing, Mr. Wiggly.
Oh, shooting for Club Jenna. Jenna Jameson.
I was gonna say something, but you just hit me with the wild accusation, so I'm staying in my lane.
Anyway, so I was shooting for Club Jenna. There was a shooter, a cameraman, who used to mess with the male talent all the time, talk smack to him, right? So when they're having a little bit of a hard time or whatever, and he used to say that every time I was on set. When I would be like, he'd be like, "Oh, it's Mr. Wiggly. Like, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Look, man, I just got here. Like, you should chill the hell out. Like, it's coming. Okay, relax.
Pun intended.
I need a moment. I got a little snake charming real quick, and we'll be okay."
Snake charming.
But that's always the fear, right? Is not being able to perform adequately, so that whoever's shooting it doesn't go like, "God, this is terrible."
I bet you've got some like penis Jedi mind tricks that you could share with the average Joe about how to focus his chi and get his boy working. I bet
The game is to be sold and not
the
told.
game is to be
I
sold.
don't give away trade secrets for free.
Yeah, which makes sense.
You got to pay to play.
Which makes perfect
I
sense.
will tell you that there was a time, I don't know if I ever told you, I done hypnotherapy.
Hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
Word.
It used to take me a long time to pop.
I hate that term. That sounds disgusting. It just
Pop?
feels dirty. Pop. Oh, bro, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
What was that?
That's as clean as it gets for that term.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's what we all call
You know
it.
what? When
Ready for the pop.
oh man.
You guys in the back, shut up. We're trying to pop.
Yeah,
As though it's a team effort.
we
As though Billy with the camera is like, I don't know, tickling my balls at the same time or something.
Oh, D, what are we doing?
Oh, are we part of this now?
I'm sitting right here. And
I'm
you're
just saying.
I don't want no parts of the ball tickling.
So back to the hypnotherapy.
Please, back to hypnotherapy, please.
Yeah, so it used to take me a long time to pop. You get very achieve orgasm.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yes.
Pop.
Skeet.
Pop.
Feels better.
Anyway, it used to take me a long time. And actually, at one point in time, I remember sitting on a Vivid set for like half an hour. Mm-hmm. And they're just like... Like and you're like, sorry guys, no, it's okay. No, it's not okay, because you just sighed 18 times and you guys are hungry and you can't go to lunch because I'm still over here trying to create fire with how fastly I'm jerking.
Oh no!
Yeah. And then all you hear in a deathly quiet room is,
is that the fact? We just got all the way demonetized.
I didn't curse.
Can you give us that thing one more time, D? One more time for the people. Oh.
And I don't like noise, right? Like when I'm trying to jerk to pop, other dudes get uncomfortable if it's very, very quiet because they're like, oh my God, everybody's watching. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't give a damn. I don't want to hear your side conversations because then I get interested in what y'all are talking about.
Oh.
And then I want to stop because I want to comment.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But you got to focus.
Yeah,
you got a job to do.
So
you're a professional.
The hypnotherapy for me was how to pop faster.
Word.
Yeah.
They had to hypnotize your brain.
Yeah.
The brain penis connection wasn't connecting when it was supposed to be connected.
Okay. So remember when you first started driving?
Yes.
Okay. And, you know, they're like, listen, hands at 10 and 2. Use your mirrors and don't turn your head and don't talk to anybody in the car because you might end up hitting something. And don't look to where you're turning. Look past to where you're turning and, you know, break this much out. And so you get in the car and you're like, okay. So I have to step on the accelerator, but then I have to put it in the clutch, and then I have to use the brake when I get close, and I have to shift into second gear, and I have to watch out for the tree, and don't forget, I can't touch the radio, and oh my God, is that a left turn or a right turn? Oh my God, left turn's coming. Is the light yellow? Or you have all these things going through your head, right? Mm-hmm. That's exactly how it is when I'm getting ready to pop.
Word.
I'm like, okay, if this chick goes the wrong way, right, then I'm going to be screwed up. So I'm a lefty, and that means he's on this side, so she has to go directly down to here. I mean, to make sure her head turns. Am I standing in her key light right here? Am I in the way? Like, there's so many things going on in your head, and I would just get frazzled. And so I'd be it's always wild because what you're doing right now is you're pulling back the curtain, so to speak, because everybody thinks that the business is so super glamorous. And I feel like Dorothy felt when they found out that the wizard wasn't the real wizard, right?
That he was a little dude and he wasn't that big. Sorry for the Wizard of Oz, y'all. But like when Dee is talking about, you know, that you're standing in the queue light and, you know, I had to get him hypnotized. You think that whatever it is, I was about to say another word. Whatever it is, like you would think that you just go and smash mad beautiful chicks and go home and high five people on the way out and that's it. You know what I mean?
Sometimes, but not at that time. At that time, you get so, and then God forbid that you don't.
God forbid.
God forbid that you don't do this in a timely fashion. Now, all of the stuff you were already thinking, now add on to that they are now irritated, and now you're running over on time, and they're paying for the location by the hour, and now she's pissed off, so she didn't want to tickle your balls no more, because now she's irritated, and all they want to do is move on. And who's the one person holding them up? Yo ass.
Can't take the pressure.
You're the one.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, hey. Well, you know, tip of the hat to the consummate professional.
Well, now it's easy.
Yeah.
Well, easier. So back then, I would take me like, I don't know, 20, 30. This guy named Julian who was, he's pretty much an icon.
He helped you pop?
Was pretty much an icon when he used to shoot me and we would get close to the pop.
Shoot you. Pause.
Okay, thanks for tuning into the show. I appreciate you guys coming through. Obviously, Kip and I are doing two different shows today.
No. I'm just not letting you. I'm just going to go ahead, man. Continue, please. This is
Are you
wonderful.
done, Beavis and Butthead?
You keep laying these double entendres out. I can't.
He said shoot.
Hey, if you're a millennial, you don't know what Beavis and Butthead is, though.
Yeah, I don't know what else would quantify Beavis and Butthead now.
Go ahead.
Well,
Okay.
anyway, Julian used to pull up a chair and eat his lunch while I was jerking the pop. That's how long it would take.
Bro, there's somebody eating a sandwich while you got your
fruit and the whole joint.
while you got your joint in your hand, and there's a dude there like eating French fries.
Yeah, because he got tired of waiting. So he'd just be like, just let me know when you're close and I'll put the sandwich down. And
wait a minute, man.
yeah.
Yo, that's so crazy to me. Like, I don't want my food in the same room as your exposed genitalia.
I'm not slapping it across your sandwich.
I know your penis.
I'm not like, let me borrow your bread so I can get close to popping.
Your penis is not gonna jump off your body, run and lay on top of my sandwich, but still, bro, like,
are you gonna eat that lettuce?
oh, it's like I can't focus on my sandwich. Your balls is out. I just can't do it.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Oh,
Not for one single solitary second.
Hold on, man.
But now I've got it down to, on a good day, it's about 3 minutes. On a normal day, it's like 5-ish. A long day is like 7 minutes. And I always know. So if I'm shooting for a new director, then I always tell them, yo, I'm going to tell you when we're 2 minutes out. 2 minutes doesn't mean I need a break. You know, like, oh, I need 2 minutes. It's like, no, 2 minutes. And then you can go on a roll and get into your spot. I know where you're going to go. You know where I'm going to go. Blah, blah, blah. So I've got it down to a science.
That makes sense.
And you know, the funny thing is, too, about popping, since this is what we're talking about.
Godly.
That's what we're talking about. I usually don't. Sorry, I have to demonetize this. I usually fuck to pop. I don't usually fuck to pop, which is engage in intercourse to orgasm.
Well, you already said the shit.
You don't get to, or you?
You get mental because if I don't know that girl and she goes the wrong way, right? Like, because you're like right there. So if you bang and then you're there, now what if she goes the wrong way? Right? Like, what if she spins around and dumber things have happened where you're like, where are you going? Like, you know what I mean?
The whole thing.
Yeah, they could ruin the whole shot. So I typically jerk to pop because I have more control of the situation. But whenever I do VR, which is the virtual reality stuff, I fuck to pop every time.
I want you
98% of the time.
You know,
Weird.
No choice because you don't move.
Well, you know what it is? I figured it out. It's the lack of responsibility. See, when the camera's right here, that's on her. She got to do everything. I'm literally along for the ride, right? But when the camera is over there and they're moving in, I'm in control of everything. Everything, all the responsibility falls on me.
I'm literally having an out-of-body experience here. I've never been in a room next to some dude talking about him jacking his meat in such detail, in such great detail. Is it interesting?
Well, what's interesting and kind of sucks is like the best part of sex.
Right.
He has to do all this to set up, and it's probably not even like 100.
Thank you for the context.
You know,
Yeah.
he's like, I gotta like.
Yeah,
this is for show. Like and you know what I mean.
You know what it is? Because we all know Josh is an amazing car builder. It's like building a dope ride for somebody else.
And never getting to drive it.
Yeah.
And all they do is high five you when you're done, and you're like, enjoy the ride, and that's it, right? You don't ever get to be a part of it, or you know. But
so what
different.
you're saying is being a male performer in the porn industry is not glamorous.
No.
Okay.
We literally, both figuratively and actually, are the working stiffs.
Unless you're shooting VR.
Unless you're shooting VR.
And then I just gotta be there.
Yeah.
Remember the girl that I showed you, Violet Star?
Yeah.
She's like my porno girlfriend now.
Oh, word.
Because like we hadn't worked together in like forever, and then in the last month we've shot like 4 scenes together.
Oh, good for y'all.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, yeah.
But that was a VR scene. Yeah. She almost made me pop early too. I was like, hold on.
Whoa.
Slow your ass down. Get off.
She must be
off.
talented.
That's when it's got to pay off.
Oh yeah, it's got to pay off. But that's also with these new women. It kind of with the new women.
The new model 2021.
Yeah. It's funny. New model, right?
Yeah.
With the new female performer, it kind of adds. It's like a notch in your belt, bro. Like it kind of adds to the character's mystique, and I say character to the brand mystique. Like, oh, he's smashing this one, and then next week you get a new chick. Oh, now he's smashing that.
I don't even think about it.
You don't think about it, but you don't think that your male fans are thinking about that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, to your male fans, like you're a superhero. Yeah, exactly. You know, to me, he's just that guy, but I guess to you, he's that penis in your fantasies.
That guy.
He's the penis in the fantasy.
To you, I'm just that guy.
You're
To them,
just that
I'm
dude.
that guy.
You're that guy. Yes.
Yeah.
That works. Yeah,
I got
exactly.
you.
Okay.
It's an interesting conundrum to have to. The worst thing that ever happened to me off camera
Was?
and this is something I did for Gio. You remember Gio? One of my club brothers who used to live with me.
Mm-hmm.
I smashed a girlfriend of the girl he was trying to smash.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wanted to punch her in her forehead.
Damn.
Yeah, it was like that.
It got
because
domestic?
No, I didn't punch her in her forehead. I said I wanted to. Because when we were having sex, she basically, after she got whatever it is that she thought she was going to get, she's like, I want you to hurry up and come. Never mind. We're done.
Oh.
And I'm like, because I was like, excuse me? She's like, yeah, you should come now. And I'm like, okay. And we're done.
Now this feels like work, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, we're working
And she
now.
she was like, no, what? And I'm like, it's cool. We're done.
Yeah.
I can do better without you.
Yeah. Ooh.
Like, I literally can get this done in 2 minutes without you here. So you can leave. I got it.
Man,
don't worry about it.
So many subtexts, and we'll probably save some of those subtexts for another show because I've got observations and questions. Yeah, bro, that went off the rails fast.
Well, it was all part of it.
Of course.
Hey, listen, guys, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. If you haven't clicked the subscribe button, it's probably down here somewhere.
Like, comment, subscribe, ladies and gentlemen.
Leave your comments. He likes those.
I do.
I don't read them.
No.
Hooked on Phonics hasn't worked for me.
Maybe not.
We appreciate you guys. We love you.
Love.
Scholar,
I think very deeply.
sinner.